A number of years ago on Tisha, the day that we mourn the destruction of the temple and everything that means, my son was reading in public at the synagogue the Book of Lamentations, written by Jeremiah the prophet, describing the horror of horrors that happened to the Jewish people at that time. And my son's voice started to quiver, and then his eyes teared up, and he started to cry. And then I started to cry, and I started to think, why am I doing this to my son? Why am I passing over this pain to my son? I mean, I grew up with the joy of being Jewish and not the joy of being Jewish, and why am I making this my legacy to my children? But I thought about it, and the truth is, if you don't know how to be sad, you don't know how to be happy. And if you don't know how to cry, you really don't know how to laugh. And really the goal of life is not to be happy. The goal of life is to be a whole, complete human being and embrace and celebrate the spectrum of the human experience. Our sages teach us that a person who doesn't know how to mourn the destruction of the temple and everything that means, then they will not know how to rejoice when it's rebuilt. Life is a dance between the dark and the light. Just as you can't have a valley without a mountain, you can't have happiness without sadness. There's a certain kind of pleasure that we get when we know how to mourn and we know how to be sad over the things that are truly worth being sad about. This is a generation that there are so many people who are depressed, but I don't think they're depressed because they don't know how to be happy. I think a lot of people are depressed because they don't know how to be sad, how to really face and embrace and cope with what's really hurting. When it's time to cry, then you should be happy that you know how to cry, and that will relieve you and empower you to find the moments of joy and laugh and dance and sing.